Well, hello folkies, and welcome back. I've actually got the camera working this time. This is actually my third attempt at getting it all going again. So I have actually been riding after I picked up my bike from Vintervervaring. Even though it's been bloody chilly in the mornings, we've been down at, well, basically zero. A couple of days where it was icy, which like Monday and that I didn't actually ride. Everybody out scraping their cars at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, not that many, but there were people scraping. I thought, no, not today. But it's nice in the afternoons, but bloody cold in the morning still. So even coming in this morning, which was about 4:45, even with my heated hand grips on at 50 degrees and these shields, my fingers were still going numb. So I am going to have to look at investing in some even better heated gloves, I think. I have got a pair, but you'd think you'd get something a bit better than what I got for 120 quid. But they only do like the back of the hands and that sort of stuff, you know. It really doesn't do much extra from all the ones that I've got anyway. But yeah, this is what I thought I'd do today. Is whilst the weather is quite nice, as you can see, and it's going to be about 13-14 degrees, I'm going to take a ride around my old hometown. That when I first moved to Sweden, I lived in a place called Västerkadup, which doesn't mean anything to anybody really who doesn't live in Sweden or Skåne. But then I moved to the town of Ängelholm after a few months and got my first flat. And I've lived here now for 33 years. And I moved to the town that I'm living in now, Helsingborg, about 20 years ago. And I haven't actually been around my hometown of Ängelholm for a long time. But first I'm going up there to Biltema, because I want to try and see if I can find a DC cigarette lighter output that does the capacity, or I'm trying to translate Swedish into English in my head at the moment. The charge left in my battery, the percentage. I can get one that does the voltage, but I don't know if I can get one that does how much is actually where the battery is, because I get a bit squirrely now when it comes to having these hand grips on and having my LEDs on. A lot of building going on up here, isn't there? In fact, I didn't even have my LEDs on this time, did I? That is something that has been a bit of a weird one, actually, is getting used to the whole routine again. So there's been a lot of getting the bike ready and then going, oh, nuts. And then I have to go back up to my flat, pick that up, get back down there and go, oh, nuts. And go back up again. But we're getting there. It was about 4.5 months, so a little bit earlier I took it out this year. There's another bike up there, isn't that? Let all these songs go. What's this guy up here doing? Don't know. Oh, Triumph, very nice. Triumph Tiger. Right, I shall leave it there and go inside and be back in a mo. Bye bye. Yeah, of course. Just want to make sure I didn't drop anything. No. That is just about my luck. So I haven't been in there for ages, obviously, because the bike's been away and I've got no reason to. So I go in there, they're remodelling. And I've looked up on the internet for like something like this cigarette 12 volt out. I've got one with a voltage meter, but I haven't got one that what I'm hoping for, I don't even know if they exist actually, is one that shows the battery capacity. So if it's at 10, 20, 50, 80%, etc. And I thought I had found one. And it was on shelf number 18 in the boat section. Oops, I've just bloody hit neutral. Talking too much. Monkey boy, he's back. And of course, so I find the boat section, and it is the only shelf that has been removed for remodelling. So traipsing around, found the guy, went about, found the thing, and unfortunately the item doesn't work. It doesn't work in these cigarette lighters. Output 12 volt outs. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look online. Like I said, I don't even know if one exists. Of course I can just couple up my battery charger like I've done today, and it was at about 80%, which is really weird because it's only just come out of winter storage where it is, you know, fully charged up. So this is why I want one that I can see very, very quickly where my battery's at, so I can charge it up every now and then. So that means that these heated hand grips are really, really drawing the juice, as of course they would do, you think, but I just haven't got enough distance backwards and forwards to work to charge up the battery, which is why obviously I want to keep an eye on it. So if anybody knows anything like that, or if it exists, I shall carry on looking on Google, of course, but please write it in the comments. Yeah, back to the channel. Wow, but it's going quite well, considering that I haven't really been posting anything. I got a fantastic response to the trilogy that I did about going to the bronze burial grounds, and I thank everybody for that, and all the new subscribers, of course. Welcome and say hello. Don't just follow, you know, join in. So, and a lot of very, very supportive friends that I've met, especially over in America, that have turned up and welcomed me into certain groups. I do wish I could get to be on at the same times as you guys, so I miss a lot of live streams, I know. But it's, you know, I don't forget any of you. A special shout out to Harley Girl and Motorbaum and Purple on 3 with Tommy G, Backroad Tourist, Motor Ramblings. There's just so many, and I apologise if I haven't named you. Right, anyway, this is the old fire station. We're coming into the area where I used to live over 20 years ago, and I haven't been here for donkeys. So, yeah, I know what I haven't got on again. 1, 2, 3. I keep forgetting to put on my light on my helmet. Right, and was it here? I'm trying to remember now. That's it, yeah, there's those shops there. Let this car go here. That's it. When I first moved to Ängelholm, I got a cheap little, what's called an etta, which is a one room flat, and I believe it was up there, but I've got to oh no, okay, no, it's not here, it's up the next one. That's it, it's up here. So a little bit of a maze. This is an area called Planteringsvägen, and this, funnily enough, if I park here, where am I? Was it 10D or 10B? 10C, I think it was. Loads of gravel here. That's it there. 10, no, that's 13. I was at 10, which must be, that was my second flat. I had two flats very close to each other. Aha, I'm miles away. That's what I said. I haven't been here for 20 years. There we go. Now I know where I am. He says. So, that's up there behind that tree, up in the arch of the roof. There's a flat. You can see the windows up there. I'll get closer to it. But that was the very first flat that I had when I moved to Ängelholm. And then, I think it was after about 7 or 8 years, I got a flat here at 11B, not 10B, in the middle. That flat there, which was called a tvåa, which means it's got, you know, a separate bedroom, separate kitchen, and a separate bathroom and that. But the etta, or the one, or I suppose, what would we call that? A bedsit, I suppose, was this one up there. I'm wangling about all over the place. I'm trying to avoid all this gravel. That's it, up there. But that's where I lived, up there. And for quite a few years. And I still apologise a lot to, or mentally anyway, to all the people that lived underneath me, because I used to drinking back in those days, and I was a party animal. So those poor buggers were up banging on my door every weekend. And that's the grass that I used to go and roll around in when it was raining, because I like doing that. Strip down my underpants, come down in the elevator, run around the back, and then roll around in the grass in the rain. Because, yeah, I'm a banana. Right, don't run over the kids. The other thing that I wanted to show you here, whilst we wait for this car to go by, is something that is incredibly Skånsk for this area of Sweden. There is a delicatessen or bageri, a bakery up here that does a very, very old Swedish cake called a Spettekaka, or Spettekaka, or in Skånsk Spettekaka. And hopefully they've got one in the window. And it is very indicative. Look at this gravel. This is all left over from all the snows, of course, which makes the road so bloody dangerous at this time of year. Don't go walking in front of me, mate, on your telephone. There's the over there. Crikey, this has changed. Yeah, look at all that gravel. They need the road sweepers out here, don't they? Here it is. I think it's called Nilsson's Conditori. Go on. Yeah, and this is alright. I'm bloody hell. That's how many years ago I haven't been here. And hopefully they've got one. Yes, they have. Look at that. I'm going to keep the crash out, man. So they're going to wonder what the hell I'm doing out here. And it's this thing. If you can see it here. And they're a thing called Spettekaka, Kaga in Skånsk, which is like the southern dialect. And it's a cake that dates back to about the 1600s. and it's made from eggs and potato starch and sugar. And Spettekaka translated basically means skewer cake. What you can't see, like in the top of it, it's about a circle about this round. And it's actually on a spit that slowly turns, which is heated from underneath and the sides. And the it's not dough, is it? But the mix is piped out, as you can see there. It's like thin strands. So as it's slowly turning around, you pipe it onto this rotating skewer, and it dries and becomes, and it just builds and builds and builds, and you build it to about this thick. Obviously with a hole in the centre when you take out the skewer, and then they drizzle over it. Like frosting and that sort of stuff. And it has a sort of meringue sort of consistency. It tastes better than what it sounds. Let's put it that way. But it's quite brittle and crisp. And when it's sold, it's always sold in these plastic bags so that it doesn't suck up the moisture out of the air and become soggy. So it's very brittle, and you cut it into like squares and put it onto a plate, and sometimes I have it with cream or fruit or whatever, and it's like crunchy on the outside, but nearer the centre, depending on the thickness, it becomes a bit more chewy. Yeah, just imagine meringue anyway. But yeah, there it is, Spettekaka, and its sort of origins are here in Skåne. It has obviously gone over the rest of Sweden. But it's what is most known for Skåne, in Skåne. Now, some people actually have them as wedding cakes. Which is different, I suppose. But I thought I'd show you that because you'd never know otherwise, would you? Look, in the window you can see my LED lights and my halogen light in the centre. Reasons. I think I've mentioned that before, but we shall find out later, because I've got my first MOT or on the bike in about 2 weeks. I've got to remember where I'm going now. Right, up here to the right. What I thought I'd do is go downtown a little bit. And I'm doing a complete firefighter here. Shout out to you, mate. Thank you for all your support and help. He starts a conversation and then screws off into about 5 different ones, like I do. Of course, roadworks. But crikey, I haven't seen those flats for, 20 years. Stay there. Alright, what's going on down here? Industry Offstend, of course. It's actually quite warm now. I've got my winter lining in, which I definitely needed this morning. But it's getting a bit sort of warm and sweaty at the moment. I do hope I'm recording, aren't I? No, I haven't got my bloody camera on, have I? Fuck. I've just got to find somewhere to pull into. Have I gone and done all of that and not filmed it? That wouldn't surprise me. I'll quickly go up on it. I've just got to see if because of the sunlight. Yes, it is recording, thank God for that. Monkey boy, monkey boy, will we ever be free of monkey boy? You remember that old programme, Monkey and Pigsy? God, I grew up with it. I think it was a Chinese programme, wasn't it? Probably Japanese. Monkey magic. Show me age now. Right, back to where we were. If you can follow the bouncing ball, which is my thought patterns at the moment. I wanted to go through the old town centre, which is down here to the right. Now this is the river called Runny Runny as in a name, R-O-N-N, I think it's I-E. Thank you. And there used to be a discotheque over here called Barnoff. And every birthday I used to come down, jump in the river, and then go into Barnoff, dripping with water. As I said, I used to drink. Go on in, love. That's lucky, I'm just going up here anyway. Ooh. God, it's ages since I've been round here. This is like coming up to the town centre. Oh, there's another bike. Well, it should be in weather like this, shouldn't it? Oh, he's training as well. The old church centre there. Used to come down here for a Chinese, and there were some pubs back then as well. The Telegraph and that sort of stuff. We're going to go around the main circle. There's the cinema, Röda Kvarn. I used to come and see. That bus is going to get off me now. It's the Chinese, or that's where there almost used to be the equivalent of a curry house. You see the statue in the centre there. It's modelled after Stonehenge. There is actually a zebra crossing there, right? If I remember. Yeah, the whole drinking thing, I might do a post on that, as people have opened up about their issues. And I can follow suit and do a little bit myself. Right, give way to the right. But not this one. Anyway, down here is where I used to go to school when I first moved up. The building on the right here that you can see is SFE, Svenska för invandrare. So for new people that have come to Sweden, you actually, if you had a job, you actually got paid to go to school to learn Swedish, which was incredibly appreciated in that little building there. So I used to go there for 4 hours a day to learn Swedish. Some would say it didn't do anything, but judging by the level of the Swedish that I speak, even after 30 years, people still say, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I get it all wrong because they've got their words in a different order to what we have in English. Now, I don't actually know if I've got my light on again. I'm getting bad at that. I'm going to have to get back into that habit. Just in case, I'm going to turn it on. 1, 2, 3, and hopefully it is on. My brake free. Right, anyway, jump from one subject to another, because it's very close when we turn off to the left here. There is a burger bar here called ROST, which is Rust translated, and it's like a hard rock burger bar. It's incredibly tasty food. The guy that is the chef in there has actually competed in the cooking Olympics, which I didn't even know was a thing, but that was explained by a famous YouTuber called Beard Meets Food, who actually came to this little blessed town to go to ROST that has an eating competition, and it's based on how much meat in burger patties you can eat. So the only way that you can actually win, there isn't a time limit on it, it's done by weight. The only way that you can win is by eating more than the last person, and I think he ate up to close to I think it was almost 3 kilos of meat, which is just insane. I'll turn off to the right here and hopefully I can park, because it's right next to that zebra crossing here on the right hand side where that woman's walking there. I'll see if I can pull up alongside it anyway. There it is. Put my lights on there. Come on, positive neutral finder. Yeah, there it is, ROST. Obviously it's closed at the moment, as you can see, but it's an amazing place in there. Great music, and the food is just outstanding. Well, you know, everything's handmade, all the burgers and that sort of stuff, incredibly good. And anyway, after he came here, and you can find his beard meat food, you can find his food attempt or video obviously on his channel, but him and his friend, who is called Randy Santel, often are in competition with each other. There's another famous eater called Katrine Eats Kilos, I think that's the name of her page. She wasn't here, but his friend came here, Randy Santel, and managed to beat him by, I think it was like 100 grams or something, like one burger patty more. Whether or not it's been beaten after that, I don't know, but they all post for photographs on that, and when you go in there you can actually see. Beard didn't have a photo, but Randy did, but he signed like the blackboard. And I will take my daughter there once she gets on the back of the bike again, and we tend to go there once a year for a burger, although it hasn't been that many years because she only rode last year, but I've been there a couple of times before. I don't know how many years it's been going yet, actually. I'll have to look at that. But that's that with Beard Meats Food and Randy Santel and a little bit of fame in Ängelholm. Off we go, nothing behind. But it's a beautiful old town. And yeah, I thought I'd show you those. There is a hell of a lot more to Ängelholm, of course, especially with I'm going to go up here. There is a whole animal park off down there to the left, but it's a whole massive walk around, and I didn't want the first film back to be that big, and it's getting bigger. So I think what I'm going to do there is call it a quits on the vid, and I'll catch you in the next one, and then I can see what I can do in editing, because I haven't done that for ages either. Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, I'm not going to call it there, are we? No, because I did want to explain something. Yeah, excuse me. This is like about my third, fourth ride since I got the bike back. But I have had absolute hell with the Osmo 4 and the mic 2, or the mini mic, which I'm actually on now. Because I couldn't pair it and the audio was bloody awful, and I just thought, what the hell have I bought? I also, when I bought the box, I bought it with the mini receiver as well. So I've got the transmitter obviously in the helmet, but the mini receiver I just don't know what to do with. And if I try connecting it to that, then it won't connect to the camera, and it was on a whole shabaloo. So the first couple of videos that I actually did were just nuts, so I trashed them. Got very frustrated with it all. I thought about doing voiceovers, but I'm not that good. But anyway, I then discovered, of course, that there's been a fucking update on the Osmo 4, isn't there? Which I didn't know about. And I think that might have been what it was, because after I did the update, the mini mic connected beautifully and was no problem. I still can't get it connected to the receiver, so I had to go into the camera to drop the gain to 12. As the video that I did this morning riding to work in the pitch black for a test, it was spiking like crazy. So I've dropped the gain to 12, and we'll see what happens now when I get home. I might as well finish off when I get onto the motorway, mightn't I? Which is up here to the right. Oh, yeah, a quick shout to Todge29 as well. The Zeiss, mate, works brilliantly. I have to keep applying it, of course, on the glasses, because I wear the same glasses at night time. But I've got a tube at work, and I've got a tube or a spray tube at home, so I can maintain it. And it's working really, really good. So yeah, that was a very positive one, that. Straight over here. I'll soon go after. Well, looking at getting some petrol. Yeah, that was just a quick walk around. Anyway, a quick jaunt around in Ängelholm. I was planning on going down to the beach, but it took longer at Biltema than what I thought it was going to do. And I actually need the toilet. And I've got a 25-kilometre ride now to get to a toilet in time. Right, let's get on this motorway. And I shall leave it there, good folkies. It's good to be back, and hopefully this video actually works and the audio works. And we've got lots of things planned for this year. The 10,000 kilometre review is coming up. The first MOT is coming up. And then there are some really nice areas that I want to get out to see and do some a bit more in-depth footage rather than just all like me mumbling and vlogging. So I'll catch you in the next one, and take it easy. Cheers.